This video is all about distractions, and I want you to do something this week for me. Every time you're in a task and something else distracts you, I want you to write it down. So even from right now while you're listening to me, what else are you being distracted by? Be honest. Are you half watching this and the other half of you is on Instagram? Or are you half watching this and the other half of you is watching TV? Or are you half on this and the other half of you is scrolling through emails? That's your first distraction, and I want you to write it down. If you're on a work email, for example, and a notification of another email pops up on your computer, that's your next distraction. And then I really want you to be aware, how many times are you doing one thing and then realizing that you've started doing something completely different just because you got distracted? This also happens with our food. So we get very distracted by environment, and this is what the shops and the restaurants want us to do. Walk into a supermarket that might have the bakery at the front of the store and it smells amazing, and that is your first distraction. Oh, I really want some freshly baked bread, when it wasn't even on your mind before. We get distracted by marketing and seasonal marketing. So if it's Valentine's Day, we all think we want chocolate. If it's Easter, we all think we want chocolate and hot cross buns. If it's Halloween, we all think we want pumpkins and pumpkin soup. I mean, whoever wanted a pumpkin or pumpkin soup anyway, but it's the distraction that we are being provided with by our environment. We get distracted by so many things all the time. And this is why I want you to make a note of it every time you feel or you're aware that you've been distracted, and make a list. So when you have that list, I then want you to pick the top 3 and then the top 1 that is really stealing most of your time and making you the least productive. And I want you to then find a method to eliminate it, or at the very least, reduce it. These things aren't just for health and fitness goals, they are for life goals as well, and being a more productive individual, a more focused individual all round. So this is gonna help you with your career, with your relationships, and with your health and fitness. How many times have you been talking with your partner or your kids or your parents, and you've been distracted by your phone and you're like, yeah, 1 sec. I mean, I know that I do that all the time, and that's a distraction that I need to try and eliminate. So again, it's not just about health and fitness. This is about you as a focused individual and being aware of all the distractions that are pulling you this way, that way, the other way. The same also applies with relationships with our friends. So you're in food, fitness, focus. You are on a journey. You are focused to hit your goals. When your friends say to you, oh no, but let's go to this restaurant and it doesn't matter about what you're eating, I want you to do this, they're distracting you, and they also want to make them feel better by you doing what they want you to do. So again, that's another distraction. Be aware of it. And that's actually something that we're going to go into a bit later down the line. A few tips that I'm going to give you just in terms of the very, very common distractions. If any of these resonate with you, then you can use these tips in order to reduce or eliminate your distractions. So first one, big distraction, obviously social media. So try and limit it to 2 points throughout the day. And I wouldn't recommend that one of them is as soon as you wake up. We all know what rabbit hole that can end up in. Before you know it, you're an hour later, you're still on your phone and you're about to be late for work. So I would say limit it to 2 15 minutes or 20 minutes or even 30-minute slots at first. And you've done that slot, and then you put your phone down and you get focused back on whatever else it is that you're doing. Then another one, again, work is a big distraction for a lot of us, work and career. It's really important to be able to switch off. So what I would recommend is that at the end of your day, you've closed all your jobs and you actually physically close down your tabs and your jobs from your computer. So whether it's a document or whether it's an internet tab, just close everything, clear it out, so that when you go back to it the next day, it's not then open the laptop and all these things are flowing out at me that I left open yesterday. That's very distracting. So you want to start with a clean slate every day and only open what you need, and then close it down again each day. Then the next one, put your phone on do not disturb from time to time. Like we said in the fitness video, when you're working out, put your phone on do not disturb. Same with if you really need to get focused and deep dive into a strategy or a project, put your phone on do not disturb. Then the next one, a personal favorite of mine, is the newsfeed eradicator. So this is something that you can get online. Literally just type into your Google Chrome, your Safari, whatever browser that you use, newsfeed eradicator, and you essentially don't have a newsfeed then on your computer on Facebook. And if you ever go on Facebook, it just gives you a motivational quote. You don't get sucked into the loophole of cat videos and Nutella fountains, and you can remain focused. Then the next one is clear your workspace and your home. So wherever you work, make sure that it's tidy at the beginning of the day, make sure it's tidy at the end of the day. And this is something that is so important that you do have that clear desk policy so that you can have focus around all the chaos that will happen in the day and you're not living and working in a big mess. This also flows through to your home. So obviously it would be great if we all had perfectly tidy homes all the time, but I'm sure that isn't the case. It definitely isn't for me, that's for sure. But something that I do always do every morning is make my bed. So that's the first step towards having a tidy home, and that will really help you to have a tidy, organized mind as well. Then the next one is to clear out your kitchen cupboards. You're going to need to set some time aside to do that probably, but maybe you can have a look through your diary after this, see when you've got a few hours and set some time aside to actually clear out those cupboards. How many things do you think you have in there that are out of date by 2 to 3 years, spices and whatnot? Having the right food environment is really important because it will prevent you from getting pulled in different directions and different distractions of food that you don't really want to be having or you don't really need in there in the first place. Then my final point is about shopping. So when you do your grocery shop, try and do that when you're full, when you've eaten, not on an empty stomach when you're starving and you can just grab anything. And also stick to the shopping list. If you go in there with a shopping list with a plan, you're not going to just fall into the trap of all the different marketing distracting you. Buy one, get one free. Buy two, get 7 free. Which you're probably going to end up throwing it all away anyway because you didn't even need it in the first place. Go shopping when you've eaten, not when you're starving, you've just finished work and all you want is the next meal, and stick to that shopping list. I hope that I've maintained your focus throughout this whole video and that you're going to remember to make a note of all the distractions that pull you in different directions throughout the next week and really then be aware of, wow, how much am I distracted? So the next video that I'm going to pass you over to now is extremely motivating and extremely emotional. And I'm really excited to hear what you think because when I was shown this, it was something that I found the message to be extremely powerful and it actually made me cry the first time I watched it. And now I watch it on a regular basis whenever I need that boost. And it really is a must watch all the way until the end and focus on it. Let it really hit home what the message is actually about and ensure that you do that with no distractions. And I actually feel that this message will help you to eliminate distractions and really digest that message further. So be prepared to have your mind blown by YouTube.